Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast! An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Time for the top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. Brought to you by our friends at J. Brooks Jewelers. Actually, David's dear friend, John from J. Brooks Jewelers.
John from J. Brooks Jewelers.
Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials, J. Brooks Jewelers. The reason, though, that is funny is because you have known John, and we've had as a station, a relationship with J. Brooks for...
I'm bad on time, but certainly a decade, absolutely pre-pandemic.
For us, probably.
Yeah.
So
he'd be a better, but whether it's 2019 or 2015, I don't know.
But they rock, and we love them. So...
True story.
All right, Christian, where do you want to start?
Number 1, the Trib put out an article talking about Kalani Sitake. BYU does not want to be the highest bidder when it comes to NIL.
It's not what they're saying anyway. Kalani wants them to be there for development and overall, well-being as opposed to just there for the check.
He's been very clear about that. If it's just about the money, they get turned off recruiting kids. If that's the first thing that comes up, they get turned off recruiting kids. They'll pay people, and they will. Their NIL is good. And if it weren't, they'd be losing more kids. And they have a fair number of kids who are, A, pretty good football players, and B, not church members. Certainly for the kids who grow up, church members, the return missionary kid, there are absolutely other things than money. It's not all about the money. But I think in those situations, you got to at least be in the ballpark. And it's basketball, not football, but it was so public, and I don't think there's that much difference in the way high school athlete thinks, regardless of their sport. It's like, you think you're worth a certain amount of money. Well, for A.J. DeBonce, it was like $5 million. If you're not paying me $5 million, I'm not coming. Now, there were multiple schools that are going to pay him $5 million, but he didn't turn it into an auction for the highest bidder. There was also where do I want to be? Where do I feel comfortable? Who's going to develop me? Who's got NBA experience on the coaching staff? What kind of schedule are you going to play? What kind of competition am I going to face? They had all these other questions. And that's a pretty good balance. I think it's unrealistic to say, well, the money just doesn't matter. Well, if you're independently wealthy, that's great, but that's going to be a super small portion of the population.
Yeah.
So, but to say, hey, I'm worth X, you got to get to X, and then let's see how many competitors there are at that point and where I really feel comfortable. To go someplace where you're miserable just for the money, whether you're a college athlete or you're our age, and we're different ages, doesn't matter where you are in your career, to go just for the money, it had better be a pile of money because there is a decent chance you're not happy. And when you complain about not being happy, you're going to get hit with the legendary line, which I think started with Mad Men and now has been repeated over and over. I know Harrison Ford likes to use it. That's what the money's for.
Right.
Well, hey, that's what the money's for.
I want to channel your co-host in the morning, Patrick Kinahan, because I've heard you guys have this discussion a bunch of times because of that anonymous quote that a BYU donor gave that said they will not be outbid. And then they've spent a considerable amount of time and energy running away from that. And what Kalani is saying here is no different than any other team in the country or coach or whatever is going to say. I just don't understand why they're putting that story out there and running away from the NIL and from the money so publicly and so much. What does it matter? And you know what? You're telling me that if it takes, whatever it takes to get Bear Bachmeier onto the field, well, you're going to do it. Whether money's his first priority or his eighth priority, you're going to give him money and you're going to give him a lot of it. He's there because BYU has resources. So why do they so much energy into running from that?
Yeah, and I don't
get it.
I don't think everybody has the same agenda, although it might sound similar, or maybe it just sounds exactly alike to some people.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody has the same agenda. When I hear coaches say it, and I've heard coaches say it in multiple sports, and I've heard coaches say it, some who are at BYU, some who are not, some who are in the state of Utah, some are out of the state of Utah. What they have in common is, we'll pay you. Mike Gundy from Oklahoma State, the ex-coach, goes on this list. We'll pay you. But if all you ever do is talk about money, you're not going to watch enough film. You're not going to work hard enough in the weight room. You're not going to put in the extra time at home watching more film, looking at your playbook, doubling and tripling down to make sure that you know every formation, you know every defense, everything the other defense does. You know, if you're an offense and you're a receiver, you know what the quarterback is thinking. You don't have to look at him. You know what the adjustment's going to be. You know when and where the ball is going to be thrown because of the look the defense gives you. And you need everyone on the defense to see the offense break this, to see the personnel, see the formation, and know what play is coming. Because you've all watched that much. When someone doesn't know, it breaks everything down. And if all you do is money, 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 the other stuff's going to suffer. And you're not going to be the best player you can be. We will address the money, you will get a pile of money, and then we will move on. And if you can't embrace that as a player, the move on part, then Kalani and a bunch of other coaches are next. And one of the cool quotes that goes back to this is Kalani was asked once about how fast somebody was or how fast a group of players was. I think it was last year. And he said, well, I mean, I want them to be fast, but I also want them to run in the right direction when the ball is snapped.
Great line.
Fabulous line, right?
Great line.
And we're talking to Bronco one morning. Bronco Mendenhall, Aggie coach, comes on, and I tell him that, and this is Bronco, who's not known for being a laugh a minute, right? He's a fairly serious guy. And he's like, oh, Bronco has so used that line. Bronco has absolutely stood in a room with the defense or with the backs of the linebackers like, I want you to be fast, but can you run the right way? Because every coach has had kids blow assignments, run, and they're like, we talked about it in film. We talked about it on the practice field. We talked about it again in film, and you still ran the wrong way. Yeah. You know, what is the key?
I'm glad you brought up Bronco, though, because, listen, Bronco has said something very similar to these quotes to Kalani that we're talking about. Yeah. You know, you're going to come to Utah State for more, and if you're going to be on the team, you know, more. Now, Bronco coaching at Utah State, they don't have any money. So he actually means that. Kalani, they're flush with dough. Why are they running from it? I don't get it.
They have, I mean, everybody has money, right? But they don't have as much money as someone who might pry their kid away from them. So don't say the Aggies don't have any money. They have some money. And that's why they're prying kids away from other schools. But they got kids prying away from them because they're in the middle of the food chain. There are both bigger fish and smaller fish.
Does Bronco's quote similar to Kalani's mean more, though? I think it does. But I think they're both just both just getting the PR line out there that they've got to get out there. Well, I just don't know why Kalani's doing it.
They do have bosses. Well, he has bosses in the church.
Why are they so sensitive?
Well, because there are some who want it to be 40 years ago and have that not be an issue. Yeah. And they want to, and that's just not realistic. It's not true. I don't think it's honest. I don't think you should talk to the public like that because the public knows better.
Yeah.
Right. So,
like that?
Yes, exactly. So, but when a coach, you got to allow a coach for they're dealing with numbskulls who get so focused on the money and then they don't work as hard and they blow assignments. And that's why coaches say it. Now, why do other people say it? Why does a church leader say it? Why does a school president say it? Why does maybe a longtime booster say it? They might have a different agenda. I think they probably do have a different agenda than a coach who says it. It lands differently based on who's saying it.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
At the Home Depot, finding the perfect carpet for your dream room is easier than ever. Browse a vast assortment of styles, colors, textures, and patterns, all designed to fit your vision and your budget. If you do find a lower quote on your carpeting job, we'll match it. Upgrade your space with carpet from the Home Depot that's plush, comfortable, and made to impress. Because your dream room shouldn't just look better, it should feel better too. Terms and conditions apply.
Evening. Buyer's remorse. Buy a new car? I'll be moving in. Let's get started.
Sorry, I think there's been a mistake. I bought it from Carvana.
You what?
Yeah, great price. I even have 7 days to love it or return it.
So there's no...
No buyer's remorse. More like buyer's rejoice.
I guess I'll let myself out. Congratulations. I mean it.
Buyer's rejoice. Buy your car today on Carvana.
Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
What is next, Christian?
Number 2, Shams with the latest on Le Decision today, talking about LeBron James, said he's not waiting for a trade involving Anthony Davis or Kyrie Irving to make his decision.
Nothing left. The teams are the teams. The information's the information. LeBron has everything he needs to make a decision. The conversations have happened. They're not, from my understanding, my sources tell me that LeBron James, his agent Rich Paul, that inner circle, they're not waiting for another domino right now. They're not waiting for Anthony Davis to get traded anywhere. They're not waiting for anyone else to move around anywhere. The teams, Cleveland, Miami, Golden State, Philadelphia, Minnesota, they're set. Those are the teams. Wherever he ends up, I mean, you're looking at minimum deals, you're looking at exceptions. The contracts are not going to be this grand part of this deal. LeBron James was very clear from the very beginning. This is going to be based on happiness in terms of chance to contend for a championship, a chance to compete at a high level, join a culture. That doesn't come from going to a team and then gutting that team from multiple different players. Now, listen, if during the first week of July, LeBron James and Rich Paul told, the Heat or the Cavs or the Warriors, hey, we need you to do this and we're coming, those teams might have done that. But that message was not delivered. And so you just kind of have to read between the lines if you're some of these teams and you need to figure it out. But it's at a point now, July 23rd, it's really up to LeBron James. The entire NBA is waiting on LeBron James' decision.
The entire NBA is waiting.
Well, everybody's waiting on a schedule, so there's that. The commissioner told the truth. And on top of that, you got unrestricted free agents like DeMar DeRozan. Once LeBron signs, there'll be some teams with some money left. There'll be some teams who have roster spots to fill and money to spend. And
Except for
then he can get on with his life.
None of those teams have any money. And that's why what Sham said is important, that the contract isn't really a deal. Yep. And he doesn't want to, I think that's interesting, he doesn't want to gut the team that he's going to sign with. So, maybe there is that. But it's not like if Cleveland doesn't get LeBron, they're going to go sign DeMar DeRozan. Maybe they would. But would DeMar DeRozan take a vet minimum contract? Because that's what they're talking about.
I've read multiple people saying there are multiple people in the league waiting for LeBron to sign. Foremost among those, DeMar DeRozan. So once he signs, I guess we'll be able to look back and figure out, because of that, he was waiting for this. Or maybe we'll hear, well, if it had been that would have impacted him. But since it didn't happen, now he does this.
By the way, I'm talking myself into Miami with this lifestyle happiness thing. Like thinking he's going to go to Miami and those reasons. Because, if you really were doing happiness,
That and Miami's accidental video.
Yeah.
They put together a video with a specific date on it. Put together a video and be ready just in case.
But it doesn't have a date on it.
But when you put a date on it, come on. I think you know something.
All right. Well, bad day to be that
Le Decision.
YouTuber.
I don't think it's a Friday news dump, so I figure
no.
at this point we're waiting for a Monday. He's going to maximize it.
As much as he can.
This is right next to The Decision. It's different, but it's something.
Next.
Number 3, it's late July. That means NFL training camps are underway. A week from today is the Hall of Fame game, kicking off the preseason.
Are they going to do it on that crappy field like they always do?
Yeah. Why would they change now?
I don't know. Why do they do that?
Because it's literally right next door to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I know where it is, but fix it.
What part would you like fixed?
The field.
It's a turf field.
Yeah, to get people hurt.
Well, that's all. Turf versus grass is a whole other discussion. The reason it's turf is because multiple high schools play there. There are places that have stadiums that play, a whole district plays there, a whole, they'll have 3, 4, 5, 6 games, a Thursday game, a Friday doubleheader, a Saturday tripleheader. And then the schools save money because they don't have to buy as much land and everybody has their own stadium. They have to do their own upkeep and blah, 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 blah. They don't have to do that.
Oh, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I heard you had Kevin on today. Kevin was good, chopping up the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I love it that Bo Nix sucking was a topic on Scotty and the coach because I think he's terrible. And Christian is a huge Broncos fan. So
Why do you think he's terrible?
Because Christian likes him.
Okay, so it is nothing.
He doesn't actually have an opinion on it.
Nah, he's pretty bad.
How is he pretty bad if they double-digit wins, win the division, win a playoff game, they're in the conference title game, which if he had played, they might have won.
Yeah, might have.
But without him...
I don't know. Stidham's pretty good.
I think one big thing... Stidham was terrible. What are you talking about? I think one big thing they have going for them is that he, and I can call up his salary, I think it's around $8 or $10 million, something like that, is that they've got a lot of money to spend on the rest of the roster. And their defense is excellent. And Houston, same deal. The quarterback's still on a rookie deal. Their defense is excellent. That's a huge advantage. Now, Bo Nix is going to want to be paid. How much is he going to want to be paid? 30 mil, 40 mil, 50 mil, 60 mil. Where's that going to go? How much winning is he going to do before they negotiate that deal? And how much is that going to damage the rest of the roster? And can he really carry the show? Because there were 10 quarterbacks last year made $50 million. There'll be 12 this year. Last year, only half of the 10 made the playoffs. And Mahomes had the injury. But paying a quarterback who's had success a lot of money doesn't guarantee you more success. When the Rams won the Super Bowl, Stafford was not among the elite. Now he is. Now he's making $55 million. But he was making, I think, 15 less than that. Mm-hmm. And Seattle, how did Darnold do it? Well, they paid him $33 million. That gives him an extra $20, $25 million to spend. And they had an awesome defense. And they had not one but two good running backs. And on down the line, they put a great team around him, and they won the Super Bowl.
If you're going to pay a quarterback, make sure he's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because Brock Purdy stinks.
But if Josh Allen took 40 instead of 57 or whatever he's at, would he have a Super Bowl title now because he had a better team around him?
Probably.
So you pays your money and you takes your choice. You take a little less, you might win a little more, and then you might get it back down the road. Or don't worry about it. Take all you can get.
All right, stay tuned. More with David James. One more segment with DJ coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast. An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.